How did you get introduced to cars?
Basically, I think I had passion for cars as long as I can remember. Since the day I was born, maybe. Because as much I remember, back when I was a child, I always used to be obsessed with cars like Hot Wheels, every cars in general. Every cars that used to pass by me, I used to ask my dad, "What car is it?" I was so interested about cars. Uh, yeah,
So, what was the car that made you a car guy?
or
Like the first
what
car,
was it?
that
Like my
particular car.
first car. Mm, there's no no there's not a particular car, any car as such. I was interested in each and every car in general, and especially more like I am more oriented towards the mass market and domestically produced cars. Yeah, that kind of cars.
Oh, what is the type of cars you are interested in? What are the type of car you was interested in? Hatchback, sedans,
uh,
SUVs.
Yeah, any I personally prefer sedans, given to the driving posture and the ease of driving of the sedan and the comfort and offer. But in general, I love almost all kind of mass market vehicles.
Even vans.
No, not really.
So, the, the MG Gloster was recently launched in India. What do you think about
Yes.
that?
I think it's a product way ahead of its competitor. Technically, it's a segment above the ND and Fortuner, but given to the pricing, it falls in the same bracket, I guess. What's the pricing again?
It has been introduced at 28.9 lakhs, but that's the price for the
28.9.
first 50 customers. So, so
First 50
yeah,
customers.
they just want to give it the hype, the required hype, so that the sales number could be made up.
Yeah, that's required
28.9
actually.
lakhs.
Yeah, MG is actually doing a commendable job on about pricing and the type of vehicles they are introducing. Though they had a lot of issues, like many hector owners going bonkers over the after sales and reliability, but that was only bound to the first batch, I guess.
Hmm.
And yeah, they are doing actually a very good job in terms of feature they are offering. It has many features uh, uh, adaptive cruise controls, radar braking system, which are unheard and unaware in other cars in that segment, I guess. I think no car in that segment prefers the level of features available on the Gloster, I guess. Or do they? Except the ND, I guess, that gets a parallel parking system.
Yeah, Endeavor is much more, like feature packed
Yeah,
as compared to the Fortuner.
yeah. And it's a better value for money given to the riding and driving handling dynamics of the vehicle.
Hmm.
And uh, the Endeavor still would be my pick for in that segment.
Why wouldn't be
Even
the MG Gloster be the pick?
MG Gloucester, actually, I don't know. I think I have a kink for Endeavor given to the appearance given to the uh, what should I call it, the road presence, the type of ride and handling. And I've seen a lot of videos, and I've actually noticed that the Endeavor still drives a lot better than the MG Gloucester, and I think there's still no competition in terms of ride handling and dynamics of that of the Endeavor. So yeah, Endeavor
if
would be
yeah,
the pick. Yeah,
Endeavor is a better car.
yeah, it's a better car.
I think the
In terms of ride and handling, I think I'm not sure about the features, although it offers a lot of features
Hmm.
that are decent enough.
I mean, the Gloucester's size is much more bigger than the Endeavor itself. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's much
Gloucester is
slower.
a segment above, I guess, internationally.
Yeah, it almost feels like a mini Escalade. Escalade.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
So, what's the best affordable car in your opinion? Like in the market, we have
Uh,
cars like the Alto 800, the Quid, the Datsun Redigo.
Good.
So, if you
Yeah,
had the least amount of money, like just probably around four
yeah.
or 5 lakhs, what car would you go with?
4-5 lakhs. I talking about the most of the entry level cars
Yeah,
like
entry level,
Quid. I've driven the Quid, the
Alto
Datsun
800.
Redigo. Yeah. The Alto is a good car though, but talking about Quid, Datsun Redigo, like they are just meant to traveling from point A to point B, and they are like they are a bit too uncomfortable to drive. Like they have hard clutches, the brakes are hard. In that, if quality wise, they're not so good, but still, if I would have to pick among them, I would go for the Tiago, the
Tiago, just
Tata
put a
Tiago.
little bit more money and go for the Tiago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it's a much better option.
So neither the Quid or the Alto.
No, 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 no. Alto, I think Alto, irrespective of the build quality, it has decent enough
Yeah,
ride and handling compared to the that of Quid, and a lot. It's much more refined than the Renault and the uh, uh, Nissan Twins. So yeah, Alto is a much better
Indians
car
love
compared
the
to
Alto 800
yeah, yeah,
more than like 30 million units or what have been sold.
yeah, exactly. And
So yeah,
surprisingly, Alto has a better quality than that of Quid and Redigo.
but the styling is better on the Quid.
Yeah, 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 exactly. It's one of the main point why it sells so much.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the deteriorating build quality of Maruti cars? Like from generation to
Uh,
generation, their cars are becoming weaker and weaker. They are scoring lower and lower stars in the NCAP tests.
Not only Maruti cars, but it's a case for each and every company. Day by day, they're like following many like cost cutting methods. For example, Hyundai had a commendable test scores. For example, take the i20. I20 scored like 5 stars in 2008 to 2009 model, but the stars came down to like 3 stars in the 2014 generation. So yeah, they are actually doing a lot of cost cutting in order to like maximize the profit. I think they should they thought that the people wouldn't be aware of it so much, but thanks to social media and channels like you, they're spreading so much awareness, and people are actually getting aware of these kind of things. And I think that would urge companies to stop these kind of measures in order to maximize profits.
Yeah. So talking about the SUV segment again, if you had to choose between the Fortuner and the Alturas G4, what car would you go with?
I would any day go with the Fortuner. First of all, even I respect the work that Mahindra did in putting up the Alturas G4, that is a rebadged SsangYong Rexton.
Hmm.
It's a great car, no doubt, but I think Toyota has a notch Toyota is a notch above that of the Alturas, given to the engine, given to the ride and handling. I've driven like Alturas. It's powerful, no doubt, but the uh, it has like pure Mahindra dynamics, which is that is it's bouncy. It's really bouncy, and at it uh, it has a loads of body rolls around the corner.
Yeah, that's
So
the
I
issue
would
that
go for
most of the Mahindras suffer with body roll
yeah,
issues.
yeah. But one of the best Mahindra I've driven is the XUV 300. That's
Mm.
a great car.
It's a compact SUV, nice one.
Yeah, yeah. It drives like almost a German car. Did a commendable job in putting up that car.
Yeah, they're learning from their mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what car do you own, and what are the pros and
I
cons of owning it?
I own a Hyundai Verna. So
Which year
pros,
and specify the
the 20,
variant?
2018 model, and it's SX variant. It's petrol.
Mm.
It's a great car. It's like it has a very light steering, and people often complain about the handling and dynamics of that car. But in highways, I don't face any kind of issue regarding the handling and the steering is actually a boon in city traffics and city roads, given to the over lightness of the steering wheel. And the cons of the vehicle is that it's actually low on space at the rear compared to its rivals like Honda City, the Maruti Ciaz, then even the Skoda Rapid and the Volkswagen Vento. And another down of the car is it's really low on mileage. Like it returns like uh, 9.5 to 10 kilometer per liter on an average.
That's so
So
low.
that's very low. Yeah, very. The
So,
highest I
yeah.
got was 14 kilometer per liter, I guess. Yeah, on that too on a highway on a stretch of cruising at 120, I guess. Yeah,
She has got drinking problems.
yeah, yeah, a lot.
Also, Fiat had left India. Fiat has left India. So, like, what
Yeah.
are opinions on that?
Fiat, Fiat was actually the cars they used to make, the cars they used to manufacture were like a state of the art. But I think that they didn't get the Indian market so well. And maybe people were not aware of, because most of the people at that time were not like aware of so much things like driving dynamics and other stuffs like build quality, which the Fiat excelled in totally. But they were after mileage, I guess. That's why most of them preferred Marutis and yeah. So and Fiat also didn't market the cars very well, though their car were like a boon for the automotive community, and they were so good to drive even now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you had to go with a car in the compact SUV segment, which car would you be most likely to go with?
uh, Compact
Like
SUV
EcoSport,
segment, are you
XUV
talking about
100.
the sub 4 meter?
Yeah, like XUV 4, XUV 300, Ford EcoSport.
Yeah.
Hyundai Venue also comes in that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I would go for, most probably my first preference would be the XUV 300. And secondly, I would go for the Ford EcoSport. Both of them, no doubt, has a really punchy engine, and aside from being punchy, they have a really I've taken many feedbacks from their owners, and they are satisfied. They're really satisfied with their after sales service. So they are really improving on it actually, and yeah, they offer pretty decent amount of features, and they are well respected cars of this segment. So I would definitely go for XUV 300 or Ford EcoSport.
And if you had to go into, the luxury sort of department, like the cars which are
Okay.
a bit above them, like the Hector and the Seltos, so which one would you go with?
Okay. So the Hector is a segment above of Seltos, I guess. Though they fall in the same price bracket. So I think uh, driving dynamics wise, if you compare like Seltos with Hector, I would definitely go for the Hector.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I would
justify that,
definitely go for.
like the dynamics.
Yeah, yeah. The dynamics. See, it's a more of a soft roader than a off roader. And it has like not really, people often term it bouncy, but it's not that bouncy. It's actually the suspension travel is actually optimal on that vehicle, and moreover that it has a much more reliable engine than that of the Kia. uh, you know how famous is the Fiat's multi-jet 2.2 liter engine, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a much more reliable car first of all in terms of engine, and yeah, though Kia is reliable too, but I would like go for a Hector any day, because Hector is a segment above car. It has like it's much bigger on space compared to the price we pay. Even though there were issues like with the initial batch, they were getting burned, they were like catching fire, but that's resolved. I guess I think that's an issue we would not have to face in the future.
Yeah, like that was the first batch of cars, so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there are some technical difficulties, or some errors that are bound to happen.
yeah.
After the first lot, they have improved a lot, and there have not been
Even
any
with the
accidents.
Celtos, I guess.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when you
they
launch a
had
new car
like
in the market, they are bound to, not be perfect. No
yeah,
car can be perfect,
yeah.
but
Even
now
the
the issues
Celtos
happen recently.
had that DCT overheating heating issue, I guess.
It had, but it didn't cause, that much of outrage
Yeah,
as
yeah,
much that
that.
it did.
Yeah, yeah.
Hector literally took the market over.
But yeah, thanks to the power of social media again, they like people are getting more aware, and companies too. So yeah, I think we should spread more awareness about this.
Dude, did you also see that the Tata Safari's production has been ended now? The legendary
Really?
production. Yeah,
Oh,
it has
yeah,
ended.
yeah, I've heard that.
It has finally
Yeah, yeah.
came to a stop after being in the market for like 22 years.
That's devastating though, but that car needed an upgrade totally. It's been for in the market since since 2012, and
1998.
no, no, like the Safari Storm I'm talking
Oh,
about.
Storm.
The Yeah, the generation change I'm
It's been quite
talking
some time,
about.
like 4 to 5 years.
It's more than 4 to 5 years, I guess. I remember it was launched back in 2011 or 12. But since then, Tata is actually really bad at updating their cars and keeping their
Hmm.
models up to date. That's why they had issues. They faced a lot of issues in back in the time. But I think Tata is improving much more, given to the Harrier update. First, it used to come with the 140 bhp engine. Now it's coming with the 170 brake horsepower state of tune. Tata is actually doing a great job now, but they need to keep up with the time. That's and a really a big issue.
But its arch rival, the Mahindra Scorpio, is still in the market. So, what do you think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the Mahindra Scorpio as an SUV? What do you
As
think?
an SUV, it's no doubt, undoubtedly a very capable SUV, and it has won the trust of many Indians. And Mahindra did actually a commendable job in keeping the car up to date, even though the it has same that body on frame type of chassis, but still Mahindra has did worked a lot in keeping the vehicle up to date. I think Tata would succeeded too if they paid more attention to the Safari, but which they did not. I think they should consider bringing the Safari back again, and this time pay proper attention to the Safari. Give proper attention to the Safari.
Which is the Indian car you are desiring the most right now? Like out of all the
Indian
Indian
car
cars that present in
manufactured
market.
in India.
Yeah, like manufactured by
Yeah.
Indian manufacturers. What's the most desirable one?
Um, for the time being, it's got to be the Harrier.
Same here.
Yeah, it's love, really. The type of design, the way it looks, the road presence.
Yeah, it
Uh,
has earned the
yeah,
title of the Desi Land Rover.
yeah, Land Rover. Yeah, exactly.
So
I've
any
always
improve,
had a
yeah,
king for that vehicle.
yeah. Any improvements you would like to suggest in the Harrier? Like it's a great car, but since no car can be
Yeah.
perfect, any improvement would you
Yeah,
like to
it's
suggest?
a great car, no doubt. But I think the ergonomics of the car need to be improved. For example, it has a glitchy infotainment system. The bottle holders and the charging sockets are placed in an unconventional ways, which we didn't expect. And yeah, I think Nexon, which is like a car way cheaper than that of that Harrier, has a
Hmm.
better is a ergonomically better sound than that of Harrier. But Harrier being Harrier is love. I would any day go for that car if I had the money.
Also, you might have seen the new Toyota cars being launched with having similar designs to Maruti.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
recast Maruti cars.
Uh, I think what Toyota is doing in the Indian market is totally unjustified. Really, Indian deserves more. There are other better products around in the Toyota lineup, like the Toyota Sienna, the Toyota CHR, which is a compact crossover SUV. They should bring that kind of product. Now that kind of product would make more sense than rebadging a Brezza or rebadging a Baleno. Like this is not done at all.
Basically, what they are
Plus,
doing is,
car companies are going.
yeah,
Yeah. Hello.
yeah. What would you saying?
Yeah, car companies are going bonkers to maximize their profit. I don't know why. Why are they doing this?
Toyota basically saw the success of the Vitara Brezza, and they were like, okay, then just rebadge it,
Yeah.
because they didn't achieve much success in this mass market cars,
Yeah.
in the smaller cars, basically.
No, yeah, the smaller cars,
Like
true
their
that.
larger cars, like the Innova
Though
and
Yaris
Fortuner,
was,
are sold in high numbers, but their mass market cars, the
yeah,
hatchback and the sedans, they don't really get much attention. So they basically were like, okay, just now copy the leader, the mass market segment leader.
yeah, they both are Japanese. Maybe that's a reason too, as already a bad reputation for having a bad build quality.
Final question. Um, you
Yeah.
must have seen the new Creta.
Creta, yes, I've seen the new
Yeah.
Creta.
And the new XUV 500 is in its testing process as well. So they
Wow,
both
wow,
will
wow.
probably be competing with
That's,
each other. So if you had to put your money on
I
one,
think that,
what would that be?
yeah, comparing both of those cars wouldn't be like much, wouldn't make much sense because I think I feel like Mahindra XUV, like the way it looks in terms of size, also it looks like a much more bigger car and much more value for money than Creta. Yeah, that's what I feel like, and I think it's got to be Creta if I've got to put my money on. No, the XUV. I've got to put my money on. Hyundai really upped its game in downsizing instead of MPI in the petrol Creta, which they didn't. Which actually, if they did, that could have like increased the output uh, of the vehicle, which has drastically reduced. So yeah, they really messed up the horsepower games in this time, even in Verna.
Mhm. So that will be all for this time, bro. I
Yes,
hope you
yes,
enjoyed
yes.
this
Had a
one.
great time. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for inviting me on this.
Would you say our audience to subscribe to our channel and share this podcast?
Yes, subscribe to this YouTube channel and share this podcast, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.